Do you bid out those service contracts?
Yes, they did. They went out to a competitive bid, and career officials at the department chose who would do those advertising commercials.
And the people that you ended up picking were people who had formerly done your political work back in South Dakota. Is that right?
No, that's not correct, sir.
I think it is.
No, it's not, sir. The individuals who, I believe the careers who they chose were two different media firms. There's been conversation about their subcontractors, but we have no legal authority to look into subcontractors on work like that.
Okay. And you're saying that you're testifying that President Trump approved this ahead of time? Is that my understanding?
We had conversations about making sure that we were telling people.
No, ma'am. I'm asking you, sorry to interrupt, but the president approved ahead of time you spending $220 million running TV ads across the country in which you are featured prominently.
Yes, sir. We went through the legal processes, did it correctly.
Did the president know you were going to do this?
Yes.
He did?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay.
And one thing, Senator, I think would be helpful to know is how effective that communications has been. That
well, they were
overwhelmingly
effective in your name recognition.
So, the back and forth you just watched wasn't about border security, and it also wasn't about immigration policy. It was about money. More than $200 million in taxpayer money. During a Senate hearing, Senator John Kennedy pressed Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem over a massive ad campaign, one that featured her prominently, and whether it was truly about advancing the president's agenda or advancing her own profile. Now watch the footage from the hearing, and I'll be back with my thoughts.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, Madam Secretary, for being here. President Trump, ably assisted by Mr. Stephen Miller, quickly in the president's second administration developed policies to secure our southern border, policies that you and the Department of Homeland Security implemented. And I congratulate all of you on your success. Properly vetting people at the southern border is not racist, is it?
No.
Could you answer for the record?
No, it is not racist.
Properly vetting people at the southern border is prudent, isn't it?
Yes, sir, it is.
And to do that, we need the Border Patrol, do we not?
Yes, we do.
And we also need ICE, do we not?
Yes, we do.
Okay. I just wanted to get my congratulations on the record. I believe you have a policy, Madam Secretary, that you have to approve all contracts at your department over $100 million.
No, sir, I have a policy in place that I review contracts. My deputy chiefs have the ability to review anything under $5 million. Above that, I evaluate and look at.
Okay. And you do that, I understand, to try to curb waste and abuse of taxpayer money. Is that right?
Yes, sir. In fact, it's been extremely effective. We've saved the taxpayers over $13.2 billion just by evaluating contracts, negotiating lower ones, and canceling ones that aren't necessary to do our duties.
How do you square that concern for waste, which I share, with the fact that you have spent $220 million running television advertisements that feature you prominently?
Sir, the president tasked me with getting the message out to the country and to other countries where we were seeing the invasion come from, with putting commercials out that told them that if they were in this country illegally, that they needed to leave, or we would detain them and remove them, and they'd not get the chance to come back to America the right way. That has been extremely effective.
Ask you to run these advertisements, is that right?
We had that conversation, yes, before I was put in this position and sworn in and confirmed, and since then as well.
Okay. Did you bid out those service contracts?
Yes, they did. They went out to a competitive bid, and career officials at the department chose who would do those advertising commercials.
And the people that you ended up picking were people who had formerly done your political work back in South Dakota, is that right?
No, that's not correct, sir.
I think it is.
No, it's not, sir. The individuals who, I believe the careers who they chose were two different media firms. There's been conversation about their subcontractors, but we have no legal authority to look into subcontractors on work like that.
Okay. And you're saying that you're testifying that President Trump approved this ahead of time. Is that my understanding?
We had conversations about making sure that we were telling people.
No, ma'am. I'm asking you, sorry to interrupt, but the president approved ahead of time you spending $220 million running TV ads across the country in which you are featured prominently.
Yes, sir. We went through the legal processes, did it correctly.
Did the president know you were going to do this?
Yes.
He did?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay.
And one thing, Senator, I think would be helpful to know is how effective that communications has been. That
Well, they were
overwhelmingly
effective in your name recognition. I mean, I personally just, I mean, to me, it puts the president in a terribly awkward spot. And and I'm not saying you're not telling the truth. It's just hard for me to believe, knowing the president, as I do, that you said, Mr. President, here's some ads I've cut, and I'm going to spend $220 million running them, that he would have agreed to that. I don't think Russ Vogt at OMB would have agreed to that. It's something we have to defend. I'm on the Appropriations Committee. My research shows that you did not bid them out, that you pick, in fact, one of the people you picked, the strategy group, Safe America Media was a company formed 11 days before you picked them, and that the strategy group got most of the money, and the head of that is married to your former spokesperson. Look, we all have friends who are qualified. I'm not quibbling with that. It troubles me. A fifth to a quarter of $1 billion of taxpayer money when we're scratching for every penny and we're fighting over rescission packages. I just can't agree with, Madam Secretary. Are you still running those ads?
No, Senator, I did not have anything to do with picking those contractors. No politicals at the Department of Homeland Security did.
I understand. Are you
Career
still running
officials
those
followed
ads?
the competitive bid process for
Are you
that.
still running those ads?
I think the ads are due to end here in March, I think within a week or
So
two.
they
I'm
are
not sure of the
still
update. The one that is running is focusing on angel families. Have you seen that? It is the one that's talking about this is our why. This is why we work every day.
Okay.
Is for the angel
I've gotta
families
move
and their
on.
victims that need to.
After
The issue. A $220 million nationwide advertising campaign launched by the Department of Homeland Security. The ads warned migrants to leave the country or face deportation. But Kennedy wasn't questioning the message. He was questioning the motive. Kennedy zeroed in on one central question. Did President Trump personally approve spending $220 million on ads where Noem appeared front and center? Noem had previously said that the president asked her to create an ad thanking him for closing the border. But Kennedy wasn't convinced that translated into approving a massive nationwide media buy. "I'm not saying you're not telling the truth," Kennedy said, "but it's hard for me to believe the president would agree to that level of spending." Not just that, Kennedy also pointed out that the contract wasn't competitively bid. It turns out the DHS invoked a national emergency to bypass the standard process. And here's what's interesting. According to Senator Kennedy, one firm involved had been formed just 11 days before receiving the contract. Another had ties to Noem's previous political circle. Coincidence? I'll let you be the judge of that. That's when the tension sharpened. Kennedy sits on the Appropriations Committee. He reminded the room that Congress is scratching for every penny, fighting over spending cuts and rescission packages. So for him, this wasn't abstract. It was about defending that spending to taxpayers. Noem, on the other hand, defended the campaign. She argued the president tasked her with sending a clear message. If you're here illegally, leave or face detention and removal. She described the campaign as extremely effective. That's when Kennedy delivered the line that defined the exchange. He suggested the ads may have been most effective in boosting her own name recognition. Not border security. Not enforcement. Name recognition. Noem pushed back, insisting she had no role in selecting contractors and that DHS staff followed all legal requirements. But Kennedy closed his questioning with a clear position. When a fifth to $250 million is spent, and contracts appear to bypass competitive bidding, it raises legitimate concerns. By the end of the exchange, the disagreement wasn't about immigration policy. It was about priorities. What was the goal here? Was the $220 million campaign a necessary enforcement tool? Or an unnecessary expense that put the president, Congress, and taxpayers in an awkward position? Kennedy didn't accuse. He questioned. Noem didn't concede. She defended. And that tension between spending power and public accountability is what made the moment stand out. Because these are the exchanges that reveal more than campaign speeches ever could. And as always, you decide. If you want more focused breakdowns of the hearings that test real accountability in Washington, hit like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss what comes next. I'll see you in the next one.